Hi, I'm Maureen Heffernan. I am the director of Driving Miss Daisy, and I am an ensemble member of the Florida Repertory Theater since 2001. This is an interesting play to me because the play is about the 1940s through the 1970s. But it was written in the 1980s, and we're now in the 2020s. So what this play said in the 1980s about the times before us, we didn't know both the accomplishments that we would make in terms of dealing for equality and the challenges we would face. So this, which was at one time a contemporary play about earlier times, is now kind of a historic play about earlier times. And so what does Driving Miss Daisy mean in today's world? One of the things that I was struck with as a boomer, and knowing how many baby boomers you have in your audience, is that this play is about the issues that we face at times with aging, with hope, with finding a job when you're a little older in life, with Miss Daisy, about having restrictions on what your activities can be, when she can't drive her car anymore. Now, as a person in my later years, I look at these issues that if I'm not facing, I'm going to begin to face, and I say, what is it that I have to say about it? And certainly I've had wonderful conversations with Sara and Mujahid about that. Like, what does it mean to age in America? What do we know from those people? What of those things are no longer true? And what of those things are still true? Sara and I were talking the other day about the fact that Miss Daisy loses her keys at 72. Well, 72 to us feels like, we're right there. We're just barely out of our teens. But so there is that idea of what aging was in those years, but none of us are free from the clock and what the clock does to our bodies and our minds and, our finances, all those things. Same thing, with hope is, what does that mean? What does it mean when you lose a job when you're 60? And I'm sure that's things that people will face here. And yet, Miss Daisy, Driving Miss Daisy, in its simplicity, transports you through your imagination in a very specific way. I think that performing it in the studio, in the intimacy of that, you really feel like you're the person in the next chair or in the other car seat next to Daisy and Hope. You really do take that journey with them, and it reminds me of other friends that I've had. It reminds me of people that I've lost. It reminds me of people, what will I leave behind when I go? So I think it's such a rich piece for the audiences here in Fort Myers. And the theater goers that I've heard talking in the lobbies when I did Doubt or when Double Wide occurred here. This is a play that's about things. It's about ideas. It's about relationships. So I think it's the brevity of the play does not in any way mean the brevity of the experience, because it will allow you to sit with your friends, whether you go for a drink or you're driving in the car, and say, well, I don't know, what did you think, or why did they do that? And I love those plays. I love those plays that leave you with the people who wrote Doubt said that the second act or the third act of this play is what you talk about with your friends, and this is one like that. And I do think that people, when they see this, will call their friends and say, you got to get over there and see that because they're so interesting. We have such rich actors in this. They're just, if you've ever seen Sara on stage, if you've ever seen Sara Morsey, you know what she can bring to something. If you saw Mujahid in Fences, this is a totally different person, and yet every bit is rich and deep and compelling. And people know Jason here is a fan favorite, both as an actor and director. So I think being invited to take a journey with them, to spend time with them, is time well spent.